Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the author, Andrew Snorton, and you're joining us for the Fast 15. As we do every Wednesday, for about 15 minutes, we take a moment to kind of pause, check up, check in, enjoy an encouraging note from any of the books I've published, any of the audio books that I've recorded, and, every once in a while, some great notes from other authors. And it's just a time for us to kind of pause, check up, check in, reboot, couple of announcements, and keep it moving on a positive note. So you can stay connected with me on your social media platforms of Facebook at the page Author Andrew Snorton, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at AuthorASnorton. And when you click on the link in the bio for my Instagram, it'll take you to my link tree. So that way you're navigating through the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, website, the landing page for our coffee collaboration with Fonte's Coffee and more. So make sure to add, share, all that type of stuff. And you may email me at AuthorASnorton at gmail.com, for any questions, autographed copies of any of the books, bookings, things of that nature. And again, thank each and every one of you as we started doing this April 1st, 2020, during the start of the pandemic. And it's hopefully a break for you guys, but it's also a good break and breather for me. Before we get into our word of the day from one of the books, definitely want to acknowledge those who are going through some challenging times. We know that there are things that are still going on with folks physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Sometimes it's with your place of employment. Sometimes it's with family, friends, loved ones, or even just battling yourself. And we've all had stretches that have not gone well. So to anyone that's out there going through, life's challenges, or it seems like the challenges are almost like a mini series and what have you, we acknowledge that you're going through a tough time. We definitely want to send words of encouragement to you. And yes, you have every right to feel some kind of way because we are people and we go through those things. But the bigger right that you have for yourself is take the time you need to pause, pivot, evaluate, adjust. If what you're going through requires professional attention, get the professional attention or help you need. If it's about just changing your routine to the circles you run into, all those types of things, whatever constructive things you need to do, please make sure you get those done because we need you. Other people need you. For those who are going through great times, physically you're in a good space, mentally, emotionally you're in a good space. Employment is pretty solid. Community-wise, you see things on the up and up. Family, whatever. For folks who are going through, some positive experiences, we applaud you. We commend you. We want you to feed off of that positive energy, so it allows you to go ahead and proceed to the next set of things. Let's not forget our peers who might not be doing as well. And again, we definitely need you to celebrate because you know what you've been led through or worked through. Just celebrate solidly enough to where you don't go over the top. So those are just some of the notes for today. And speaking of notes, I'm going to pull from my very first book, which is poetry-based, Deeper Than Your Deepest Sleep, Thoughts on Love with Joseph Snorton. So this debuted, February 2017. So 6 years ago. So there's basically the backstory on Deeper is the title character, the title person, Joseph Snorton. Part of the backstory on that is many moons ago when Dr. Maya Angelou passed and the memorial service was done at Wake Forest University. I did receive an invite for that, but my invite was in the name of Joseph instead of Andrew. So to make a long story short, able to track down this distant relative named Joseph. And the book is based on our conversation on the energy of love, relationships with family, community, people in your life, people out of your life. But what we did is the beginning of each chapter is a preview. So the beginning of each chapter is a portion of the conversation that the poem is based on. So that way, when you read the poem, you're still allowing the author to do his creative thing, but you're not getting lost in the sauce. Like you kind of know where he's going. So what I want to read is the preview for chapter 18, which I think is important anytime, regardless of where you are or what have you. Just an important reminder. So chapter 18 is Do I Love What I See in the Mirror? And I want to read this portion of the preview, which speaks, to the actual poem, but it just speaks to life in general. And I'm going to read this. You gotta love yourself. How else can you really love other people? And it's not about being arrogant or boastful. It's just about being in tune with who you are and whose you are. But you have to get your head out of the sand or the clouds and get back to reality so you can see yourself for who you are and who you can be. That's good advice for anybody. And I'm going to say this, some deep words in a setting where it sometimes does not occur that often. So I'm going to read this one more time. You got to love yourself. How else can you really love other people? And it's not about being arrogant or boastful. It's just about being in tune with who you are and whose you are. But you have to get your head out of the sand or the clouds and get back to reality so you can see yourself for who you are and who you can be. So part of it is acknowledging and accepting where you are, but being excited about your continued growth, your continued evolution, being open to constructive suggestions to help you be better. And that's something that I know day in and day out, especially in recent months, you know who you are, where yeah, it's a good time to evaluate, a good time to get perspective, a good time to quote, see where you are, see where you're trying to go, but see where you've yet to go in order to be, quote, a better, version of you, a more evolved, a more whatever, polished, however you want to call it. So I definitely like that preview for chapter 18 as it gets into the poem, and it really does hit home. So hopefully for somebody out there, anytime you're trying to love on somebody else, it starts with how do you view yourself and do you love yourself? And you acknowledge and understand who you are, where you are. But again, you're always looking for growth. You're always looking to bring out more of the best in you, more of what is, quote, hidden, those hidden gifts, those hidden talents. So that's the message from today from the book, Deeper Than Your Deepest Sleep, Thoughts on Love with Joseph Snorton. Hopefully it helps somebody out there. I know that in addition to what I write, helping others, it's also a way for me to take inventory and help myself. So as we move forward on a couple of quick announcements, again, many, many thanks to all the entities in Central Illinois, from Bob's Bay Bookstore on June 15th, Tony Jones and his team doing an amazing Juneteenth event in Bloomington, Illinois at Miller Park. On July 17th, the Hunt For Foundation doing some amazing work in Lincoln, Illinois on July 19th. If you check my social media, I posted one of the photos from one of the photographers who did some amazing work. Things are upcoming July 15th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Join me at Coffee Loft Atlanta for coffee and conversations. We're going to talk not only the creative work that's done through the lens of an author. We're going to talk about the coffee collaboration I have with Fonte's Coffee in Louisville, Kentucky, as we currently have the light roast right in time for the summer and the medium roast. So make sure to add Coffee Loft ATL on Instagram. Make sure you add me on Instagram. The info is on our respective social media. It'll be out in the next e-newsletter that's coming out this week. It is a ticketed event, so you have to go on Eventbrite to get your ticket. But come on out, meet, greet, network, chop it up, and that'll be July 15th. There may be some other events coming up before then, but we'll post that on the social media. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, it's hot out there, so please stay hydrated. But of course, thanks to everybody, all the readers, book clubs, festivals, bookstores, everybody that's lending support on the writing end. I sincerely appreciate it. And you, the coffee end, many thanks to our team with Fonte's Coffee. As again, we've got the light roast, the medium roast. You can click on the link in the bio for Instagram and go to the actual landing page. Or to make it simple, go to fontescoffee.com, click on the menu for special collections, go ahead and get your order. And of course, when you check out, there's 3 nonprofits, and we'll rotate the nonprofits, but one nationally, one that's Louisville-based, and one that's Atlanta-based. So right now, the Atlanta-based nonprofit is Alphas of Atlanta. So those of you in the A, get your coffee today and make sure to to lend support on that end. And you see, going old school, shouts to Black Women Read. They are one of the amazing groups that's based here in Atlanta, doing some amazing work. They actually interviewed me for their series, I want to say about 1.5 2 years ago, but had to acknowledge them and acknowledge all the media outlets that have taken time to amplify my story. Tomorrow, check out the social media as the newest interview will be posted. I'm really excited. Shouts to the Voyage magazine series, as they, not only does Voyage do a great set of things, but then with their affiliates, they do some amazing series. So really excited to be able to drop that interview that we did that's going to come out tomorrow. So check it out on social media. Again, just thank you to everybody that's lending support and encouragement. Hopefully with what we're doing here is supporting and encouraging you guys. So again, make sure to stay connected with me on Facebook at the page Author Andrew Snorton, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at AuthorASnorton. Email me at AuthorASnorton@gmail.com for any questions, comments, bookings, signings, any type of community pieces that we're able to do. And as I usually say, whether it's small or big, a victory is a victory. Whether slow or swift, movement is movement. So keep it victorious, keep it moving. Stay hydrated out there. And with it being the holiday weekend, please, wherever you go, please travel safely. Have fun, but please be safe out there. So until next time, y'all, take really good care. Look forward to talking with you soon.